All right. And welcome in to Loosely Related Podcast. Welcome back, everyone. Episode 16.
16.
In the books. We are here, the three of us, and we're a little upset. XVI. What is that?
16.
Oh.
He's doing his Roman numerals.
I can't. I can barely count in American.
XVI.
I can't. American. That's Roman,
Episode
right?
XVI.
I can barely count in Bangladesh.
Yes.
So
your kids haven't taught that. Well, you have to teach your kids that.
I gotta teach my kids that.
You better start learning Bangladesh right now.
Bro, I don't know what those porcupines are teaching them, but they're not teaching them
I don't
the
even
right
know
stuff.
if the language is called Bangladesh. Do you know that?
Is it
Bangladeshi?
I don't
Hey,
know.
Brian, look that up. Oh, wait.
Brian's not here today.
Brian is not here. Brian, we miss you. And by miss you, we said we missed you when you escaped from the basement.
Yes, we didn't realize it. It was
Joe said he had locked all the doors tightly, but apparently
I
not
left the
well
garage
enough.
door open and he just snuck right out.
Every now and then it happens. You know, that's how a few dogs ran away that way.
Well, that's
and
what I was
Brian.
going to say. Molly nudged out. Brian saw her do it, and he was like, "Oh, that's a good idea." And he ran out.
Oh, look at that! See,
He's like, "Wow, I could do that too."
So,
okay, so
Brian is not here. Yeah, this week.
We do have a cardboard mock-up.
What do you got
of him
over there?
the official language Bengali.
Rob's got to go back to his fact-checking from episode 3.
I can't even read.
Our
Brian
new
needs to get back
fact
now.
So
The Rangpuri language is spoken by about 10 million
Okay. What is it called?
Ramangshi people in Bangladesh.
Okay.
I feel like we've already said about 12 things wrong. And
Probably we have to make
your
We're only 3 minutes into the show.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry for everybody we offended
already.
already.
What are you going to do? We don't have our fact checker, man. For all I know. I don't even know. Wait, is this loosely related?
And I don't have the other half of my brain.
Oh, yeah.
No, your
the other
backup
half of your
brain.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
have
That's going to
backup
be rough
brain.
for you today.
I'll probably be forgetting a lot of things today.
Yeah.
And we don't have a fact checker.
Flash.
We didn't even
that
start
I'm
with
gonna
today's
say.
date.
We didn't even do that. Oh, yeah. So today's date is October
Don't look.
12th. I did look down. I had to look down. October 12th, 2019.
2019.
Yeah. So again, if you like our show, you like what we do, you can find us at our website, looselyrelated.podcast.com. You can find us at Twitter at LRPodcast. You can find us on Instagram at loosely_related. And you can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. And so I mean, basically, I think Brian was not going to be here. I remember we were all laughing thinking he wasn't going to be here for the Halloween episode. We were all like, oh my God, you can't not be here for that. But then luckily that all worked out. So he's just not going to be here for this one episode. But, I mean, we're all good, right? I think for the most part.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll survive. We'll pull through. We'll gather our spirits. We'll band together.
Yeah.
And we had a big pep rally before the show.
We did.
John. It was just me, Rob, and Joey with a pep rally. And Molly. And, we just jumped around, sang songs.
Exactly.
Did a campfire.
Yeah.
Almost burned the house down.
Basically.
Called the fire department. Had the fire department here. They joined in.
Exactly.
So we're ready to go.
Yeah. So I didn't even ask, how you guys doing? What do you guys? How's everybody doing? How you doing?
Good, man.
Yeah, you doing all right?
I got a 4-day weekend this weekend.
Oh yeah. Happy Columbus Day.
Happy Columbus Day, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's
I do not have a 4-day weekend.
No.
You don't have you have a 3-day weekend? You don't have anything. So we get Columbus Day off
really,
where I
Rob?
am.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I took my vacation day also for Tuesday, so I made a long weekend.
Nice.
That's
there you go.
nice.
That's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he singed his eyebrows in that fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have eyebrows.
I noticed that.
Yeah, it's always kind of
did.
been a weird thing, right? A little bit.
just noticed that now.
Whatever.
Thanks for pointing out the flaws of my
your
the
facial.
the very
features.
few flaws in my.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
See,
okay.
there you go. That's why you have to
He
point
spun
it
it.
out.
In my
Yeah,
appearance.
he's trying to bring you back down a little.
No,
bit.
he is. I know.
That's all it is.
He's like my external reminder of don't be up here all the
You ever see
time.
that
It brings me
commercial?
down a little bit.
You gotta pop that bubble.
Yeah. You remember that one commercial of the guy? It's a hilarious commercial. He's like a regular dad, but he's like, oh, there's this new diet. You have 3 14-year-old girls follow you around, and anytime you eat something, they just go, ew, seriously? So gross. I love that. Every time he goes to
Body
eat
shaming.
something, just so funny. But anyway, so what I did this week, one cool thing is Wednesday, I was bored, right? So I'm hanging out at home. I'm in school right now. So besides that, when I'm done doing homework, I'm just kind of sitting there all day. I decided to go by myself, which first of all I've done before, but it's always weird when you go to the movies alone, just by yourself to the movies. But I went to the movies this week to go see the new Joker movie.
Was it during the day or?
Actually, I went to a 7:30 showing.
Yeah.
Was it still busy or?
crazy busy.
Really?
I can't even undersell it. It was it was nuts. I couldn't believe it. Like we got there. Well, me and my brain got there at like 7, and it was pretty dead. But then all of a sudden, like 7:20 rolls around, the theater was packed. Man, couldn't believe it. Like a Wednesday night.
People are still going.
Was that for that show?
That was for the 7:30 thing. But then my mom did mention that it was a Jewish holiday, so a lot of schools had off.
Kippur.
So it might have been
It's a holy holiday. It's a very high holiday, man.
Yeah, 25% Jewish. We should have celebrated it. Yeah. I celebrated it by going.
That
to see
means
Joe.
that you only have to fast 25% of the day then.
No, me 50%.
Yeah.
Okay, 50% of the day you fasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50%.
Yeah, no, you're supposed to fast all day. They're not supposed to break bread or eat or anything until after dark.
Really?
Yeah, so
okay.
Right. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So I do it like a little bit later, and then I wait till it gets dark. I wait a couple hours, and then I do it. Yeah.
All right. Well,
he just closes his eyes.
Yeah, that's all.
Just closes
He's like,
the
it's
eyes.
getting dark.
It's getting dark.
Though I think it's weird when you go to the movies and it is only you and there's only like 3 people in the whole theater, but then someone has to sit like either right next to you or right behind you.
Yeah,
I'm like, can you move your butt?
I'd rather you sit next
I'm always
to me.
wondering what they're doing. I'm like, what are you doing right behind
you have
me?
this whole theater.
You
Why
gotta
you
sit
sitting
right there?
Yep. Behind you's the worst because then they kick your chair. And they're freaking always making weird, dude. I saw It Chapter 2 recently.
I still haven't seen that.
It was really good.
I want to see it.
I liked it a lot. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was good. Yeah. It was good. But there was these 2 like teenage girls, like probably 17, whatever, behind us. They were laughing so loud. They were like jumping. You know, it was pretty scary. But they're like
pillow
just being
fighting
loud. It was like, dude, my mom was getting pissed. She was like, dude. That's the kind of stuff that bothers me. It's you can't go see any scary movies anymore. I feel like the theater etiquette has fallen pretty significantly, 100%. Right?
100%.
Remember even Endgame, like when everybody like at the end of Endgame when everybody comes through through the portals, it was awesome, and even I was like, oh shit, like this, but like people were like yelling and cheering. And it's like that's cool, and like I get it's a big moment, but you can't like just do this. You have to yell loud because like you couldn't hear shit. Like
you were missing part. You were missing what was the
dialogue. Right? Remember that? We were
it's
there
like,
for that. Remember
that
how
happens.
loud it got?
That happens in our house all the time. We're watching a movie, and right in the best part of the movie, people walk into the room and start talking about what they're going to do tomorrow, the next day, start yelling and screaming in the kitchen.
My wife,
and you just start. Freaking
I'm not even
out.
gonna blow her up. She's not the only one who does it, but she'll come in at a critical point of a show or anything and then start asking mad questions about what's been going on. I'm like, you missed the whole season. You want to come in at the very the most pivotal point of the whole thing and ask mad questions? Let me pause this and explain the whole backstory and this and that, and then 2 minutes later you're like, all right, I got laundry to do.
It's like, wait, why is the cripple kid the king? Have you ever seen it? No, I never got into it.
Yeah.
What? It's like, okay, whatever.
All right, so you went to this movie. What did you say?
Joker. So I saw Joker. It was good, man. So I mean, I obviously wanted to see it. So just a little background. We've talked about Marvel before and like all that, but I'm actually really a DC fan at heart. I love mostly Batman. Batman's like my favorite.
Is there
piece
any
of
other
entertainment.
DC characters?
I mean, there's
to talk about?
Superman. I mean, I don't know. Aquaman. We did love Aquaman, Rob.
Don't even start Aqua crap.
I think we already.
With all his,
I don't think we need to dedicate any more time to talking about that movie. I think we spent time talking. That's
horrific.
I didn't want to. Why did you have to bring that up?
Yeah.
Can we end the show now?
Like
right now. Let's end the show.
For good, like forever.
All right.
Let's close the show. We're closing the show today.
It's done.
Loosely Related is now done. Thank you very much for watching.
We weren't supposed to spoil this, but the Halloween episode that we got is basically just 3 hours of us talking about Aquaman.
Yeah,
dressed
that would
as
be
Aquaman.
That would be. Would we dress in all Aquaman costumes?
But not the new Aquaman. The Aquaman from like the 1960s.
Yeah,
that one.
And we're going to do it in black and white, too.
You know the best thing about Aquaman is you just don't go in the water and you're pretty much safe. Just get the hell out of the water.
That's what I've always said. It's like I talk to fish. Okay, how often are you hanging out in the ocean where that like actually
that
benefits
comes into some huge deal, yeah.
It's like you know what that's good for when you go to like a restaurant and they have the fish tank. You can talk to all the fishes. Like, don't worry, listen, you're gonna be okay. I swear. But anyway, so I really love like the Batman. I mean, Batman's my favorite character. He's like my favorite piece of like entertainment. So obviously, I was really excited to see this movie, and it was good, man. It was a really interesting take on the Joker. Honestly, like personally, I probably would give it like maybe like a 7.5 out of 10, something like that. the director Todd Phillips. It was a really interesting. Like this director is primarily known for comedies. He actually did like Old School with Will Ferrell.
Oh, I remember
he
that.
did Starsky and Hutch with
really?
Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson,
Okay.
and Will Ferrell's in that as well.
No, they're all in every movie together.
But then the big thing he's known for is he did the whole Hangover trilogy. That's what he's like. That's his big thing he's known for. Yeah.
Okay.
So this was his real first like foray into the world of drama, and like because it is like it's a dark movie. Just fair warning to everybody out there.
If you see the
just
trailers
by the
for it,
trailer,
it's pretty dark.
I think I got that.
Yeah.
I don't think you would like it, Dad.
I don't know. I'm interested in seeing it. I'd like to see it.
I want to see it too.
Yeah, I definitely
Rob, you
wanna
would like
see
it. I know for sure you would like it.
I think I lost a little bit of interest in seeing it when you explained to me that, and I didn't know this, but you explained to me that Joker doesn't have a backstory.
No, he doesn't.
So this is just a standalone story about him.
Completely.
Which, I mean,
so somebody's
I
imagining of his origin.
what it might be.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's interesting.
It's definitely cool. I mean, like even for me, like like obviously, I'm a huge Joker. Joker's my favorite villain. Like for
Joker's a great villain.
anything.
Yeah.
I think most people put him like up there with like Hannibal Lecter, James
he's
Moriarty. Like those top villains of all time.
Best Joker of all time was from the Batman Robin show, or from the 60s when I was growing up. 70s.
Oh my God, Rob, can you pull?
Get a picture of him with his armchair.
I was about to ask Rob to fact check real quick. Hold
Fact
on.
check that, Rob.
I
hey,
know
Brian.
his name.
Wait, Brian. No, Brian's not here.
I know his name. Hold on. It's like George. It's not George.
Who plays him?
Yeah,
We'll call you Brob today.
Batman.
Instead of Ryan, we'll call you Brob.
Today.
Hey, Brob.
But
instead of Rob.
What the heck were we saying?
We're talking about the guy Adam West Batman.
What was his name, Rob?
Adam West is dead, by the way.
Yes.
Yes, we said
we learned that. Cesar Romero.
Cesar Romero.
He's actually a famous actor. Like back in the day, he was the shit, man.
He was.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
And
that's something right there.
Yeah. Did you ever see him before?
I've seen the original, but not since I was little.
We'll put a picture of him up on the video.
That was my
Batman.
That's my Batman and Robin, man.
Yeah.
I grew up with that.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw. And then when I used to have, when I was a kid, I had the Batman. I had the Batmobile with Batman and Robin in the Batmobile, and I had the Batmobile.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, the Penguin was Burgess Meredith.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yeah.
From Rocky fame.
Yes,
that's why I know him from at least.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I think he just
Burgess
actually died
Meredith.
fairly recently too.
No, it was a while ago.
No, you think? Yeah.
See,
I tried too slow to do fact checking. So.
Dad's like,
let me see if I can.
He died in 1997. Yes, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
Yeah. He's been dead a while.
Yeah.
Couple
But anyway,
decades.
yeah. So, but like, yeah. What you were saying, it definitely is standalone. So, like, that's the big key. The big key is this. It's definitely a really interesting take on the Joker. I would definitely say it was. Compared to the previous iterations of the Joker, it's a really interesting take on it. That's why I liked it so much, and especially this director, the way that he did it, it's a really great directing style, and it's really interesting. But I think the big draw is Joaquin Phoenix performance, man.
Sure.
Holy shit.
I mean, he's a strange guy to begin with, but he's
Joker in real life.
Yeah,
like if there were a Joker, he would be the Joker in real life.
So many things have been talked about.
I think he just played himself.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
But so much has been talking about, like Joaquin. I've seen some of his interviews. Yeah, some of them were pretty awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen him. I remember watching him for years and years. He's been in a lot of movies I liked when I was younger.
Yeah.
But so they say, like, one of the things they're talking about, other than what you're going to talk about in a little while, is like how sick skinny he is in this movie.
Yeah,
They're
man.
like, he just looks like he's like sickly thin.
Literally like borderline anorexic, dude.
Yeah.
It's weird. And he has these weird scenes where like he has to like bend himself over really weird, and you see all the bones and the skin's like hanging off. It is so creepy.
You have to be a little nuts.
He lost 50 pounds for the role.
50 pounds?
He
Okay.
lost 50
Wow.
pounds.
And then did you see he was talking about like how he felt like a sense of like cathartism, like having control over his body and all this?
Really?
He's like, I love eating just one peanut a day or something. I don't think he was being tongue in cheek. He was
he's probably
he's
just
I
a little
believe
strange.
it, man. You can't tell.
Oh,
if
the
he's acting
Abbotts. I
sometimes.
remember him from the Abbotts. That's a long time ago because I used to be a huge
Abbotts?
Liv Tyler fan. Oh,
Yeah.
Tyler. And he was in Inventing the Abbotts. He was one of the brothers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Didn't he?
Actually, a good movie if you want to check it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, all right.
I thought that there was a time. I don't remember what movie it was after. He left. I thought it was him. Maybe
he like left Hollywood for
He
a
left
while?
and he wanted to. He was
Yeah, he
going
was
to quit
supposed to be a
acting. He wasn't
rapper.
going to
Remember
act anymore.
Yeah.
He was going to rap.
And he just said, "That's it. I'm not acting anymore."
Yeah,
And he came
yeah.
back. Now,
Yeah, that
this
was
wasn't
him.
the first one back, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he
a
wasn't
number of
coming
years
back.
ago.
That was the whole thing. He was leaving to become a rapper,
And they kept
but
saying
he
it's
was
just a
making
hoax
fake.
or
Yeah, it was a
whatever,
hoax.
yeah.
So like, he made a documentary.
He actually
about
made
it.
Wasn't Daniel
documentary.
Day-Lewis something? That's why I was thinking him too.
Daniel Day-Lewis has more or less
They
retired.
do that
I
crazy
think.
method acting. Yeah, Daniel
Yeah.
Day-Lewis hung it up. Yeah, he said he's not.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he
the guy.
is,
Maybe
yeah.
I am confused.
Like,
No, but
no,
you were
you're
right
right
about
though.
Joaquin Phoenix. You
He
were
did.
also
He
right.
stepped away from acting.
No,
He was
he
just
did.
like, I'm done with it.
Yeah, he did.
oh,
He came
And
back
like
up.
every time they would show him, he had the crazy long beard,
Yeah.
and like he was like
He's like-
selling that whole thing. Like,
like
he
the
was
crazy-
living that
crazy,
character
crazy.
all
Yeah.
the time.
Dude,
So-
weird, man.
So he was preparing for the Joker role since he.
Dude, but you said
That's a
that.
whole other interesting thing about all these people who play Joker and what
Yeah,
they've said
the
about
method.
it. Of course, Heath Ledger.
Yes,
Ledger,
dude. Even
Yeah.
Jared Leto did that. You know, on the
Jared
set of
Leto, yeah, yeah.
Suicide Squad, Jared Leto would send really disgusting gifts to all the other cast
gags that
members.
nobody found funny.
Yeah, no, like, well,
Yeah.
not to be like gross, but he sent like I don't know if they were used, but they were opened condoms. He would
Wow.
just send them like condoms
No, I think
with
they
stuff
said they
to
were
everybody.
used. That's
Wow.
what
Like-
I had heard.
And like raw fish, he sent to Will Smith one day to his trailer, like really weird shit. And like I remember like one thing that seems to be a common method acting for all the Jokers is they all like Joker is known to keep a notebook, and it seems like Jared Leto, Heath Ledger, and Joaquin Phoenix all kept a notebook that they wrote in the character of Joker. And when you go in and read that shit, there's some pretty good actors because there's some pretty disturbing stuff, and
Wow,
that's
really?
written by them.
No kidding.
But yeah, so I mean, his performance, dude, it was over the top, and I mean, like it was, but in a good way, in a really good way, and but it was weird because obviously Joker's been done to death, kind of, because people also don't forget. A lot of people consider Mark Hamill their Joker. You know, the animated version of Joker.
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
one
he
of
does
my
it for,
favorites. The Batman
in
the
video
animated
games, too.
show. He did the Arkham.
He does a good
Arkham
Joker.
series. I love Mark.
Arkham
Hamill's
was amazing.
Joker. Arkham's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people do consider him
But,
like the voice of
Michael
Joker.
Keaton in the
the
movies.
essential
Right.
But even he
Joker
said he was like
voice.
into a dark place, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
no, exactly. But it's weird because like even with as much as it's been done, he still found a new way to do Joker.
Oh, I just thought of something.
Like that's
here.
what was so cool about it.
I'm gonna quiz you.
Yeah?
You give us
Okay.
Okay, is it?
Yeah.
Let's
I like
see.
this. Okay.
What's his name?
Is it
Is,
another
the
that,
guy-
is this the quiz? I have to
Is
read
it a
my-
citizen test again?
Yeah, you just have to guess who I'm thinking of,
Yeah.
and then form the question yourself.
Okay, yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
Okay,
no.
that's good. I like that.
You know,
contest.
freaking all right, that guy.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
All right, it's Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club, and versus Joaquin Phoenix in The Joker. Who's mad thinner in those movies?
Oh wow! Oh my god!
Remember how skinny
Yeah.
McConaughey was in that?
Yeah,
That
for
was
like
sick.
I don't
Dude,
know if I know that
he
one.
was skinny for months after that. I remember he was doing that movie the same time as True Detective season 1. He was like,
Oh,
still
and,
skinny.
yeah. Oh, that was amazing.
He
By the way, that was great.
Amazing. One of the
great
best seasons
season.
ever. Yeah,
Season
no, probably.
one, I slept through the entire.
You slept through the entire.
Every time the
you've been
intro
sleeping
came-
since season
I,
1.
every time, if I want to go to sleep at night, I just put the intro on to
intro
the
on.
season 1 of
Yeah.
True Detective, and it puts me right to
Just
sleep.
one of the things. Those those crime
look,
TV shows is not.
It
your
pops
thing.
up number 2. Dallas Buyers Club, Matthew McConaughey. Second thing, but Dallas Buyers Club, Matthew McConaughey. Wait,
Wow, really? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Dude, he was so skinny.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the worst.
He
because
dropped
lost-
38 pounds.
Yeah,
it
well, I
says,
mean, he
but he
played-
was already thin.
Yeah, he played an AIDS patient in that movie, so I could definitely imagine.
I
that
wish.
being
Can we
more-
pop this? We should pop.
Oh yeah, I'll
if
pop
we can,
all
both
up.
of them up on there.
Yeah, let's
on the
let's
screen
yeah,
when
yeah.
we do it.
Oh
but-
hell yeah,
oh,
side
Save
by
it,
side.
save
just,
it.
I mean, so you guys can see it. Just like
Yeah.
oh
Save
my
the pictures to our
goodness.
drive.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's freaking
Save 'em to our
disturbing,
drives
man.
if you
That is
wanted to pop it.
disturbing.
It's
That's
a
like,
weight off. Oh, and I didn't even know. Here's a cool little link up.
You know
Jared
what's
Leto's
weird,
in
though?
that.
Jared Leto's in. Oh yeah, he
And
is.
he was
That's
also a
right.
Joker.
He won the Oscar for
Okay.
that actually.
All right.
He actually did. Yeah, you know what's weird about that? Like that feels even more disturbing. That's a lot more realistic. You think I was an AIDS patient?
That was
At
a
least
sad
this
movie,
one
man.
is like Joker is like he looks that way because he's freaking deranged. You know,
Right.
he's not all there.
Yeah.
But it's interesting this character because like I think the Joker, from what I know from the comics, and I've read probably almost every single Batman graphic novel. He's not emotional. He's completely just no emotion. Just kind of I guess you could say psychotic. He's just really he's driven by just this desire to just
Cause mayhem, right?
yeah, cause mayhem and torture Batman in
Right.
particular. This
It seems
Joker was a
even
lot
at
more
his
emotional.
own. Oh, I'm sorry. So this one
Yeah.
was he played for more emotional.
This one was a
Yeah,
lot more
okay, I
emotional.
got-
like,
I
like,
got
like
you.
almost I would argue that this Joker was almost based entirely on emotion. It was all based on from what I think it was really based on him trying to kind of get back at society. He was frustrated with his place in society, and he felt put down by society and rejected. And
Yeah. So you
There's this
told
whole
us
scene.
off air. You
Yeah.
were mentioning to me, Joey, the other day when
Yeah.
we met up at Buffalo Wild Wings. You were
shout out
kind of
Buffalo
saying,
Wild Wings, we're just there.
yeah, hashtag
Yeah.
not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Well, we'd like to be.
We did.
You were mentioning that. Well, okay, so that it might be a little formulaic, right? The movie, the idea of somebody being kicked
it's
out.
been
so
done
mention
before.
that real briefly.
Yeah, so I mean, like the plot. The reason why I give it a 7.5, as good as it was, and the directing was great, it's definitely a plot that has been done before. Like that movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Yeah. It's the same shit.
Yeah,
just with a guy wearing clown makeup. Yeah, it's a guy who's pissed off
darker
society.
and not comedy. It was like you said, there was a little comedy in the Michael Douglas one.
Yeah, there was a little bit of comedy. There wasn't much. There was almost nothing funny in this movie. It was disturbing, man.
Yeah.
Did it just go to a dark place, huh?
Really dark. It was super dark, like really, really dark. Almost to the point where like you're like kind of looking around the theater, like, is anybody gonna like snap right now and just freaking lose their mind or whatever?
That is scary.
I don't know, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, no, I think it was definitely that was my only the one thing I would say. It did feel like it was a version of the Joker, as if it like he could be a real person. This might be how it would happen.
So it felt more. Now, does I don't want to spoil it. I know I haven't seen the movie. You didn't see it either.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it yet.
Is there a single what do you call it? Like
climaxing moment? Or,
no. I think your single climaxing moment is when you read your list of favorite places to go in the Hudson Valley.
You were climaxing for that.
The Twig Hut or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I climaxed multiple times during the movie, but that's just,
I climaxed before the show, too.
Oh, my God. You might have family members listening to this.
Yeah, no, for sure. Listen, climax, it's no big deal.
I didn't say how I climaxed.
Oh, my God. Let's get back to what we were talking about.
I popped a few climax.
Now I forgot my train of thought. I didn't know what the hell I was about to say.
You were saying,
what was the biggest point?
Did he have like a specific? I don't want to say enemy because he is back. Does he have like an?
I would say that honestly, his enemy,
or is it everybody?
His enemy, I think, in this movie was honestly
that might be a spoiler. Don't say it if it's going to be a spoiler.
I don't think it honestly is because even from the trailer,
it looks like it's just him versus the world.
It's him versus society, really. Okay. And I will say in the movie over the course of the film, it becomes more specifically a very specific sect of society,
a group of people.
But yeah, I mean, a large group, a large portion of the population.
Does it become resentful towards Wayne Enterprise?
I don't want to give any of that away.
Right,
I don't even know if that's a moment of it. I didn't even think that didn't even enter my mind actually. Okay, what about
But I think that's the whole thing with that. So the whole thing with that, it all kind of leads into the big thing I want to talk about. The reason why we're not just talking about the comic book thing is the reason why I wanted to discuss this because it's been obviously Joker's been all like over the news cycle, and unfortunately not because it's a good movie or because of the fact that it's done well at the box office. It's because of the controversy that came out recently with a lot of the fears over this movie possibly leading to some dangerous situations and people being and creating some motivations for people to commit very violent acts. So I mean, it's definitely a rough thing. We have a little thing like in going back to it, basically the controversy for those of you who aren't aware, essentially what had happened is the Joker movie premiered right at the Venice International Film Festival, right? Obviously in Italy. And it was like completely amazing. It was praised. There was actually an 8-minute standing ovation at the end of the movie. And like the critical like praise in Italy was unbelievable. It actually went on to win the Golden Lion, which is the, I guess, top prize at the Venice International Film Festival. Okay. And of course, immediately it was like the top contender for like Best Picture, and there was Oscar, talk and all that. And it was completely blown. Like, everybody was loving it. Now, there was one person for Time Magazine, and this is what kind of started it. This one person did write, a journalist for Time Magazine wrote that it's a little bit uncomfortable to have to feel sympathy for the character who's in the movie. His name is Arthur, who is a troubled lamb, and it feels like the movie is glamorizing Arthur, even though he has very violent behavior. And but that was kind of it, right? Then it comes to North America, and it was at the Toronto International Film Festival. It did not get the same kind of praise. As a matter of fact, it actually drew a lot of criticism, and a lot of people were not too happy about it. They really felt like this movie had the potential to quote inspire acts of domestic terrorism. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where it all started. So,
and it was causing problems, wasn't it? Like in the theaters and stuff. Like there were different places that you couldn't go into the theater with.
Well, that's like farther down the line. This is even before it even came out. This is actually back in September. So the movie just came out, I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not that long ago. It's like less than a month ago. Back on September 20th, it all kind of started going down the hill. Joaquin Phoenix, this is back into the whole interview thing. He was in an interview with the Telegraph, and they asked him the question, are you concerned with any, with this movie inspiring any kind of violent acts, and do you think it could lead to, acts that, have potentially tragic results? And Joaquin Phoenix just says to him, why would you even ask me that? No, and he just got up and just walked out of the interview.
Really? Wow.
So of course that was weird. Of course it just kind of spiraled, and then that clip blew up. So then people started thinking about it, oh yeah, why? So then the big thing, and what I think really kind of put it into the news, was that on September 23rd, 5 family members and friends of the 12 victims of the Aurora, Colorado, theater shooting, they wrote a letter to the chief executive of Warner Brothers, basically saying, quote, they wanted to remind him that, quote, a tragic event perpetrated by a socially isolated individual who felt wronged by society has changed the course of their lives forever. And basically, the letter went on to, ask the studio to withhold campaign contributions to political candidates who accept money from the NRA. They wanted them to use its political clout to lobby for gun reform, and they also wanted the Warner Brothers to donate to gun victim charities and gun violence intervention programs. Okay. Right? So it all blew up, and of course that's what really came down on Warner Brothers hard. And then Todd Phillips is getting hit with questions in every single interview he did. And then, of course, a lot of the reviews start coming out. And then all of a sudden, this movie that was at one point won the Venice International Film Festival Golden Lion, was critically praised, is taking some serious critical hits. It's falling down. I think on Metacritic right now, if you look it up, it's a 57 right now. And I was like, that is completely
that's way
not
off
fair.
base, right? Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
I get the feeling about it and the fear that it might potentially incite in people, but it's I think that
there are a lot of movies like that though.
Yeah, exactly.
What about that whole long ass series of friggin' the one where they go around for one night and they do whatever destructive.
The Purge or whatever.
The Purge.
Yeah.
5 of those movies.
Right,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a
that
pretty
was
horrific idea.
Exactly. I think it's an awful idea. I don't even know how that movie is.
I really hate that movie, honestly.
I do too.
I
I think
know,
it's
it really bothers me.
Stupid. It bothers
I just
me
don't like home invasion movies to begin with. They make me kind of sick.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, me too.
Yeah.
And I think that, just people were completely judging this movie based off of fear. And I think, I understand the fear. I get it. But
yeah, I understand where it comes from.
Completely
obviously,
misjudge
but
the actual movie.
I don't think a movie like that is necessarily going to prompt somebody to go do. People who are going to do that are going to do it.
Yeah,
whether there's a movie out about Joker, there's plenty of, like you said, Rob. There's plenty of other things out there that are just as bad or worse than the Joker movie is. That if it's going to prompt somebody, it would have already done so.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
a 59.
They always want to blame.
Yeah, 59. That's crazy. It's nuts. It does. And like I said,
controversial Joker origin story. One in Venice.
Yeah, is
an Oscar nomination next.
Yeah. But see, now the next big thing is this whole controversy going to hurt its Oscar contention? And that's I think that's absolutely wrong.
It probably will. The way Hollywood works,
yeah,
that's
it's not right.
It definitely will.
Joaquin Phoenix, at the very least, deserves to be nominated for Best Actor. I don't know if he should necessarily win, but he should be nominated. And if this hurts his nomination, that is completely unfair.
Yeah.
He's not even remotely responsible for it. If you even if you wanted to accuse someone of being responsible for it, Todd Phillips directed it and wrote it. It's not even his fault either. But even if you wanted to, he did a phenomenal job. And this is a guy. It's his first try doing a drama, and he had a potential, I would easily say, to be nominated for Best Director, and I don't think that part of it is right.
I was gonna say I don't want to oversimplify this at all, but these two thoughts, just keep coming back to me when I think of these arguments that are made.
Yeah,
and believe me, this is only my own humble opinion. I don't mean to downplay anything tragic that's happened to anyone. Of course, I feel bad for anybody who's a victim of any kind of thing.
Sure,
but one, we can go back to the 80s. Heavy metal's making people commit suicide.
Yeah, right.
We know that's not true anymore.
Right.
Then you had video game violence is creating violence.
We know that's not true.
And we know that's not a fact.
There's been so many
basis
studies
of reality
that actually
there.
prove the opposite of that.
Right. And the reality is that just like when we were talking about the awful topic of suicide not that long ago and from a nurse perspective.
Right.
When we ask somebody if you're feeling like you're going to kill yourself or you're going to hurt somebody, some people would always fear you shouldn't do that because you're going to put it in your mind. But that's not at all true. We know for a fact medically that thought's already there. You don't implant a thought of violence or suicidality based on you saying it.
Right.
So if you just extrapolate that idea, why in the world would somebody want to now hurt somebody because of a movie?
Exactly.
And it's not
that doesn't make sense.
It's not like it's not like someone comes into you and you say, "Have you seen the movie A Beautiful Mind?" And they say, "Yes." You say, "Are you feeling suicidal?"
Yeah.
Right.
I'm also feeling like I hear voices.
Exactly. Have you seen the movie Anchorman? Like, so now I feel like I feel like I'm the anchorman for a San Diego news channel.
I think every great song and every great songstress or artist will tell you the best thing they can do is make that song feel like it's about you.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So I'm sure movies are in the same way.
Yeah.
I saw Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Now I think I can climb the outside of the Benghazi building with
the Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
I'm glad he thought that because I saw him practicing on his house. He fell over so many times.
I did.
Yeah, I'm glad you tested it out first. But I think that was the whole big thing, man. Like, honestly, I totally understand the fear,
right?
And but I think that it's sad because it really is affecting a very well done film. And I think the really sad part of it is that in reality, what this really, in my mind, comes down to, it's these terrible, evil people committing horrific acts of violence, and that is now affecting everyone else years and years later. This is the Aurora, Colorado shooting, I believe it was in 2011, 2012, and we're still seeing the effects of it. Years and years later.
Of course,
a guy can't even make a movie anymore.
Like that.
Right, and there's been violent movies for as long as movies have been around.
Yeah,
just like there have been horror movies.
Right,
they don't. Nothing is created ends up in tragedy. People decide what they want to do on their own.
Why don't they just
things?
Why don't they just get rid of movie theaters altogether? They don't have to worry about having people come in and shooting up.
Yeah, you never hear other things, right? Oh, movie was so good it made me go out and do good.
Yeah, right. That's a good point too.
Yeah.
Like, you never. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I don't think it, like, as nice as the pursuit of happiness was, how many people really went out and started busting their ass at work all of a sudden, doing
or
that
paying it forward.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I guess this whole thing was about, this movie is glorifying a guy who's a villain. Yeah, you're glorifying a comic book character, a made-up character, and again, a lot of, in watching the movie, yes, it's true, a lot of those feelings do seem real. A lot of people, I know people who feel beaten down by society and feel frustrated, but I still find it hard to believe that they're glorifying this man. They also know he's a murderer, not to spoiler alert, but I think we all know Joker's a murderer. Yeah, and I believe he's clearly illustrated in the movie as a bad guy. He does have mental illness. Now, that's another big part of it, too. He has mental illness, and they're very clear about it the whole movie. They're very honest and open about the fact that he's mentally ill, and he commits these horrific violent acts because he's not able to understand and deal with the things that are happening around him.
So that's another day. I mean, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but mental illness doesn't make you a bad person.
Right, of course.
But you still need to take responsibility for having mental illness. Just like you would for anything else. Having a broken leg doesn't make you a bad person.
Yeah, for sure.
Not doing anything about it is strange.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's, again.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think that's what
so
I
would
just kind of
you would recommend the movie? Or?
I would definitely highly recommend it. Now, I will say this: I've been telling everybody, it is super dark. So if you're into that, besides the
we have to expect that, I suppose.
It's really dark. It's one of the darkest movies I've seen in a very long time. Like there's there's no happiness.
There's no reprieve in it.
Huh? There's hardly any. There's not even barely any comic relief, which is weird coming from a comedy director who's directed some of the best comedies I've ever seen.
I had a quick question. I guess it's a lighter question about the movie The Joker. I see that Robert De Niro is in it.
Yes.
He's playing a younger De Niro, right? Is he? What do they do?
No.
Is he his age?
Yeah. Yeah. He plays his age. He's a talk show host in the movie. Yep.
But he is older, and they don't do like time aging or something. No. I saw the preview; it didn't look like he was that old.
No, I think it's just a lot of makeup because he plays like a talk show host. So he's like all done up and whatever and all that. Yeah. But that's pretty much it.
In the movie?
So he's good. He's not in it very much. I would almost call it more of almost like a cameo kind of thing. Almost.
Right.
I mean, he has a decent amount of screen time, but yeah, I would say more of a cameo. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I would definitely recommend go seeing it if you don't mind a little bit of darkness, and that's about it. But
if you're wondering if you're wondering why we have if you're wondering why we have a chessboard on the table, you'll find that out in the next segment.
And his name is John C.
Welcome back. Sorry for that long and really treacherous break.
Treacherous.
I don't know, how do you say treacherous? Treacherous. Yeah, break. We are back, and if you're wondering why, as Dad was beginning to allude to in the previous segment, there is a chessboard in front of us.
Is
Dad,
there?
you want
Is
to?
there chessboard?
There's a chessboard here. I don't know. I don't know if that's.
There's a
I think
chessboard.
Brian
I
might
had
have set
my
up
glasses on, I
to
could see it.
sort of screw it with us. I think Brian left it just
Brian,
to kind of mess with
will
our
you-
heads.
Will you mess with my chessboard?
I think that's what might have been what happened. He was screwing it up, man.
Stop playing with my chessboard when I'm not.
So
around.
So then you're gonna have to explain to me because I came down here this morning and
Well-
legitimately there was a chessboard here and I was like, oh, okay, we're playing chess, all right.
Well,
I guess
I-
we're not doing the podcast today.
Yeah, we're playing chess. So
Yeah.
no, I do the national days.
Oh, okay, cool, nice.
So the national days, one of the
All right,
national
you want to
days
jump
is
into that then? Yeah, well,
Yeah.
all right, let's do it.
one of the national days is National Chess Day, and
No
so that's why I set up the
shit.
chessboard
All right.
that I stole from Rob like 10 years ago, and I've had it
Literally.
ever since.
You know what's funny? Until right now, where Rob just assumed it was gone, it was lost, and
He
now
didn't
he
know where
knows.
it was and never thought about it.
I thought
Yeah.
it was still
Yo.
sitting next to your old couch, wherever that old couch
It
is
was,
now.
but there was about 3 inches of dust on top of it.
Yeah.
One day I was sitting on the couch across from it, and I was like, I should probably move that. So we hadn't played with it in a long time, but I
We had
moved
fun
it downstairs so we
Yeah.
could collect dust in the basement
Yes,
instead of
which is
on the
better.
side of
God,
the
I don't even know
couch.
if I know how
Yeah.
to play chess anymore. It's been so long.
I still
Dude.
play chess every
You guys
single
were good.
day.
You guys were decent. You guys were good.
I haven't played in so many years.
Yeah.
I used to play in the Rockland County Chess Club.
No,
not-
you were
not
like
sponsored.
would you consider yourself like amateur? Was that like amateur level?
Uh, yeah, probably amateur, intermediate.
Like let me put it to you this way: like when you're talking like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? So like purple belt would be considered like a step right above like if you're a purple belt, you can basically like really start competing like amateur level like Jiu-Jitsu tournaments and things like that. So like, would you consider yourself like a purple belt of like chess?
Well, it's a little different because
A little
it's
bit?
like every other thing. You have the top people who are like the best in the world who
Yeah.
play chess, who are on a completely different plane in chess. And there's a ranking system.
Yeah,
it goes
right.
from like
'cause
1,000.
I always forget that. Yeah, right.
It goes by your playing, how many games you've played, who you
Molly's
played
really
against,
trying
blah,
to
blah,
take
blah,
us down today.
what their rating is.
She's really trying to knock everything down.
I used to be a U.S. Chess Federation member. I'm not anymore. Haven't been in years.
Okay.
But I used to play in
USCF.
I used to play in a chess club where it was sanctioned by the U.S. Chess Federation. We used to
Nice.
compete, and they would send in our scores and our games and our
Yeah.
wins and losses, and
It's
we'd
freaking awesome,
keep
man.
track and publish every week. They had a magazine that they put out, and they would publish everybody's rating.
Oh, that's pretty
in the
sick, man.
magazine.
That's so cool.
I think when I played the highest I ever reached was almost okay. So let me just go. The
Yeah,
ratings
yeah,
go
I'll
from
explain it real
1,000,
quick, yeah.
1,000 being like almost like a
A
beginner,
beginner. Okay.
basically, and it goes all the way up to like I think the highest rated player is above 2,700. It might be above
27, yeah.
2,800
Oh, okay.
now.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bobby Fischer was at one time the highest ranked player in the world.
Yeah.
His ranking I think was like 2740, 2780.
Wow. Okay. It's interesting.
Somewhere in that vicinity. I think Kasparov went
Kasparov.
above that. He was he
Casper,
was
the friendly ghost?
champion for a number of years, and I think he actually broke Bobby
Gary
Fischer's
Kasparov.
record for rating.
Yeah.
But Bobby Fischer was the longest consecutive highest rated player in the world, or champion in the world. I think.
Right.
Anyway,
So then what was your ranking?
my
then
ranking
on that?
when I first started playing and I finally got ranked, I think I was in like the 1300s, like 1301.
Oh, okay. All right. It's pretty cool, man.
And when I played there for maybe a year or so. And by the time I left, I had managed to make it up to 1486 or 15 something. I can't remember what it was. But that was just on the borderline of a Class A player.
Okay.
So
that's
it basically goes your D.
Yeah.
You have your lower ones, which isn't even right. I think it goes D,
Yeah.
C, B, A, expert, master, grandmaster.
All right. So then you were like an intermediate level
So
player,
as
like
a-
right a
yeah.
little bit above intermediate.
So
right?
I'm probably ranked around 1400 or so if I had to give
Okay.
myself a ranking.
That's awesome, man.
I play every day on chess.com.
So, Jump, just looking at this real quick. It says standard top 100 players, October 2019 from the FIDE.
Okay.
So it's Magnus Carlsen, title G, country Norway. It looks like his rating
Norway. No
is
shit.
2876.
Okay, so it is.
2076,
That's pretty
okay.
high. That's
Followed by
okay.
USA player Fabiano Caruana. Caruana. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm probably jacking your name up.
Yeah.
He's
I know he
2812,
watched the
and he's the
podcast,
second
so-
highest rated player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's
sweet.
interesting.
So National Chess Day then. All right.
so it's
then
National
in honor
Chess
of
Day,
National
and
Chess Day,
I
you did that.
challenge any of you people out there. If you want to play me in a game of chess, I'll do it online with you, or we'll
Yeah.
keep the chessboard set up, and we'll just
Well, what's
make
your
the
username
moves.
online?
My
give you a shout out.
My username on
Twinkle
Chess.com.
Toes.
chess.com is
69.
Darthas, DARTHHASS.
Yep.
I'm
There you
on
go.
chess.com, so if you want to ever challenge me to a chess game, we'll play a game of chess.
There you go, man.
But yeah, so there it is. So that's National Chess Day.
right.
Cool,
And
man.
then some of the other notable days for today, of course, there's a bunch of them, but I'm only going to mention the ones that I am interested in.
Of course.
It's kind of cool. There's
Wielding his unending power.
Yes, I can do that on this show.
Master of National Days.
So this might be one that me and Rob can engage in this one today and have
Okay.
some fun with it.
Yeah.
I hope it's not butt sex.
Well, it's not. It could be. It could be, though.
A good national.
It could be while we're going very fast because it's National Motorcycle Ride Day.
Yay!
Oh, okay.
So if you don't want to give me a ride, I'll ask Patrick.
You can have
Patrick.
Patrick can give me a ride. My daughter's boyfriend. He
Yeah.
also drives a motorcycle.
I was reading something about motorcycles the other day. There was they got a motorcycle just like broke like a speed record like for motorcycles or whatever, something like that, like crazy fast. I was like, it was like 250 or something like that, like on a motorcycle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hayabusa
Yeah. I saw that
something.
too. Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, Rob? Would you do that like on a motorcycle?
No.
Dude, that's nuts.
One mistake, it's like you're done.
That's it.
At that speed, I
And
can't
what I mean?
imagine.
You're
Right?
trying to compute like what's coming ahead. You probably can't think that fast.
Right.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what it's
No
like
way.
Tron? Would you do Tron? You would go into Tron.
Actually,
right?
I used to run Tron.
You used to be in Tron. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
that's it. Him and Jeff Bridges.
Wasn't there like a blue laser?
There was a blue guy and an
Yes,
orange guy.
that's me.
Blue and orange.
Blue
Remember
guy.
Tron?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's what I was
I
like.
remember-
All right.
yes, that
Anyway,
was
so
pretty cool.
what else we got? So we got.
So I mean, that's
Bike
basically
ride
the
day.
two most interesting ones, I think.
Okay.
But there's one that's I love Yarn Day.
I love Yarn Day.
I love yarn.
I love
Am I
yarn.
just saying yarn?
I love
say
yarn.
But
I love yarn.
I love yarn. But yeah, so those are kind of the days, you know. So, but yeah, so the chess day, I had to put that in because it's my favorite day. I didn't have to bring food unless it was gumbo because there was National Gumbo Day, but I
saw
wasn't
that,
doing
yeah.
gumbo.
So it was either break this chessboard out or
Yeah,
figure
so
out how to
I
make
figured
gumbo.
yeah, and I'm not doing gumbo. I was hoping there was something
I
simple
don't
like
even know if I've
national.
ever eaten gumbo.
I was hoping it was
Have
like
you?
I love lamp.
yeah, you could have.
Do you really love the lamp, or are you just saying it because you saw it?
Oh, that's
I
gonna
love
get hacked
lamp.
out.
I love lamp.
I love
yarn.
lamp.
I love yarn.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, so I forgot what I was saying. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, yeah. So those are the days.
Pretty much
in
national
chess,
days,
and,
pretty much, right?
Have you
Yeah,
had
that's pretty much
gumbo,
it.
man?
Dude.
Oh, that's what we were talking about. Gumbo. Yeah. No. So
Oh,
yeah,
gumbo. What
chicken
is-
gumbo. And it's like a soup.
Shrimp
like that.
gumbo. I thought it was like a
Shrimp.
stew in my head.
Gumbo
Shrimp
is like you just
stew.
throw
I'm gonna look that up.
you
I
just
don't
throw
even-
shit together and just
Salad.
make a porridge.
People in
out
New
of it. That's
Orleans are
gumbo.
gonna come and smack the crap out of us for saying this.
Bro, people
Oh.
are the ones who are going to smack the crap out of us for a lot of things. That's
Yeah.
going to be number 3 on the
We've
list.
pissed so many people off today.
We did.
Luckily, none of them are listening.
Yes.
And this is National Free Thought Day. National Free Thought Day.
National Free Thought Day?
Yeah.
All the other days you get locked up.
You get
It's
locked
like
up for any
China.
thoughts.
Yeah, you
It's
can,
like
like-
China.
I hear your thoughts. Get into jail.
Yeah,
Get in the
annual on
jail.
October 12th, National Free Thought Day encourages people to be free thinkers and base their opinions on facts, science, logic,
news.
and
not
reason.
and not the loosely related podcast.
And not the
this
loosely
is
related
at the very
podcast,
least,
unless
this
you're
is
listening to
fake
me,
news.
because I'm the only one who uses those
That's true.
Oh, see,
criteria
look, I was on it.
for their thoughts.
That is
Gumbo
true.
is a
least
stew
inside
popular
my
in the
head.
United States of Louisiana and is the official state cuisine.
Oh, really?
Gumbo consists primarily of strongly flavored stock, meat or shellfish, a thickener, and what Louisianans call the holy trinity of vegetables, namely celery, bell peppers, and onions.
Wait, gumbo is the official food of Louisiana? Wow.
apparently.
No
Louisiana
shit.
gumbo, man.
There you go, man.
So if you're
All
in
right.
Louisiana or not, if you ever visit Louisiana, I guess you want to get some the gumbo.
Louisiana.
I'd like to try somebody's gumbo if they want to send it.
Oh, yeah, man.
All right. So no, that's it on those. So
All
I
right,
just
well,
wanted
that's
to
pretty
mention
cool,
also.
man.
I don't know, and this is a completely switch topic here.
What else
but-
is new, man? Loosely related. It's all good.
Well,
That's what
loosely
we do for a
related.
living.
Loosely related. Well, this isn't really loosely related because we actually mentioned it on a previous show. So
Well,
I
let me
just
ask you.
wanted to bring
Let me
it up.
ask you a question. Did it come from your brain?
Not much comes from my brain.
All right. So then, well, it came from my brain. So
And
it's
besides
loosely
that, since
related.
Brian's
Your
not here, I
dad's
don't.
brain is loosely held
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, and since Brian's not here, I
all
don't
of
have
our
all my
thoughts are
brain.
loosely related. That's the point I was trying to make.
My brain, my fact checker is not here right now. So.
All right. So what do you want to announce?
So yesterday,
give an announcement?
the Netflix show El Camino
No,
I was
movie.
wondering if you.
movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
don't
Netflix
spoil our
movie,
crap because I still haven't
El
watched the
Camino.
series.
You better. Oh yeah.
I'm not going to
still
spoil it
behind.
at all.
I haven't
but,
seen the movie yet, so don't do that.
So for
But
anybody who
what
is a
it?
Breaking Bad fan,
Yes.
if you watched
Lot
the
of
entire, I'm sure there's a lot. Hopefully, there's a lot of you out there. It's a great. If you haven't seen it, do not watch this movie.
I know I still haven't seen it because it picks up directly after.
It,
right?
It's a directly. It's just the Jesse Pinkman story directly at where it takes directly off.
So
where
much
the
action,
series
right,
ends
something.
on Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah.
And I won't go into that too much, but it's great. It's
Did
really
you enjoy
good.
it?
Yes,
You liked it a
it's
lot?
It's a really amazing. It's a closure to the Jesse Pinkman's story.
Oh, is
The
it? Okay.
storyline?
Oh, good.
Yeah, and it tells you what happens to him basically. But
Cool,
it's
man.
interesting, and it
Was it like a 2-hour
flashes
film,
back
or?
into the show, and there's some pretty cool things there.
Yeah. You've been
Um,
watching a few new things, right? You
Yes,
started
and I was
watching
going to
that,
mention those
and
as well. The other thing that I'm watching on Netflix is season 8 of American Horror Story.
yeah, well, that's a very popular show. It's like one of the most
Yeah.
popular shows on TV. But
No,
I know that you started getting into it.
I
just now
wanted to see
recently,
because I
right?
heard about it. I've always kind of wanted to do, and I started watching a while back. I never got back into it.
Yeah.
But then I heard about season 8, and it's kind of sounded interesting to me, so I started watching it, and I binge watched it because I loved it. I thought it was really great. It's a great premise, great story.
Yeah.
It's a dark story,
They
but
still
it
have the
also
same
ends in a
actors,
good way. Yeah, they have
They,
ones
like,
I
rotate
don't
their
know.
roles?
My daughter Christina watched a lot of those episodes, and she knew a lot of the
Oh,
actors.
you didn't start from the first?
I didn't.
or-
No, I went right
okay.
into season 8.
I mean, yeah, they're standalone.
They're
It's a
standalone.
miniseries, yeah.
They're standalone series, so it's not like you have to
I
watch
saw
them
the
in succession.
first 3 seasons, I think, and then it kind of stopped.
And then
Yeah.
when my daughter was telling me, "Wow, actually they're back. That person's back. That person's back." There's
Right.
a lot of
I think they use the same cast from
Yeah. I
every
think so.
season.
Yeah,
and they change roles.
with the exception of that's the singer.
Stevie Nicks was in that, right?
Yeah,
No,
she
was
was
she?
in
Stevie
it. Yeah,
Nicks
she
was
was
in
in
that,
this
yes.
episode. But I'm talking about the one.
Joan Collins?
Oh, I can't think of her
No,
name right
not
now.
her. I
But
don't
here I
know who
get
that
Sam
is.
forgetting. Brian's not here, and I can't remember.
There you
names.
go. All right,
the
it's all
first
good.
one was like, I believe it was like a haunted house one that was
Yes,
pretty
it was.
good.
It was. Yeah.
Then I saw one that
Yeah.
was like in an asylum. That was really good.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then there was one I think I stopped watching.
So
at
what
the point.
was
It
the name?
Witch's Coven or something.
Yeah. So
the one that I'm
season
talking
8
about,
is
season 8, is called The Apocalypse.
The Apocalypse, American Horror Story, The Apocalypse.
And if I give you a basic
Apocalypse.
breakdown of it, it's about how the world basically ends by nuclear disaster, and then
That
who's
is,
beyond.
in fact, what an apocalypse is.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it is actually that, and
It
then
is.
how it it's like a fight between good and evil, so to speak. So I won't
Yeah.
say much more than that,
Interesting,
but
though.
it is
Very
really
broad
good. I
strokes.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But if I say much more than that,
No,
I'll
I
sort of
know.
spoil
It's,
it. So I
dude, it's
won't-
No,
so
I don't
hard
want
to
to
avoid.
spoil.
Everything's
You're
a
right.
spoiler nowadays. It's
but
nuts, man.
it's definitely worthwhile. I loved it. I thought it was great.
I'm glad
Acting
you
is
liked it.
amazing.
Who goes first in chess?
White.
Spoiler!
Spoiler
You
alert.
just spoiled it.
Wow, way to spoil it. That you spoiled chess for everybody who
This
doesn't know
game
how to
is
play
only
chess.
many centuries old. Some
Right.
people haven't
I
gotten
know.
to
I'm
it yet.
sorry. I didn't mean to
Spoiler.
spoil it for those people out there.
That's yeah, man. So I think that there's so many good shows.
Yeah.
Like on Netflix right now that you got to keep up with watching. Breaking Bad, I was pretty excited about that. A lot of big things coming out. I want to give a shout out. Also, you mentioned Breaking Bad movie. The Irishman is coming out. I don't know if it came out
yeah, I wanna
today.
see that.
Martin Scorsese, his new
right
movie.
back to the Godfather style, right?
So it is, yeah, and apparently, I mean, it is getting out of this world reviews. I mean,
That's what I hear,
I
yeah.
haven't seen a movie get this good reviews since Zero Dark 30.
You got like the whole
Wow,
game,
really?
right?
Yeah, no, yeah, it has like a 93 on Metacritic right now. So I mean, I don't know if it came out yet, but it might have come out yesterday. I don't know, but even so, that's coming out soon. Keep an eye out for that. It's one of my top 10 favorite directors. It's a great movie. I'm sure it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And then I think I guess we'll just.
Well,
I
the
know
other, I just wanted.
one of the other things you wanted to talk about was would you the other thing?
No, I
You
did
did
was
the crappy jobs?
crappy jobs. We can talk about that.
Well,
if
you
you'd
had
like.
you know
That'd
what's
be
funny?
kinda cool.
The other day you had mentioned this, and I thought it was really interesting because I think that a lot of people can probably relate to this. We were talking, and you had mentioned me about I had this one really shitty job where you used to drive around. It was at like a warehouse facility or like a manufacturing plant.
Yeah, I
and
had
you
I
were
was
a kid. You
part-time
were like
job.
a
I wasn't
like
a kid
right?
really. I don't think I was. Maybe younger. I don't
teenager,
know.
I thought.
Well,
No, I was
obviously you were
married.
younger.
I was-
unless it-
when you were
Okay.
driving
I
around
was
those
working
carts
at,
and
I was
shit.
working at Letterly's, and and then I had a part-time job down on Orangeburg Road in Orangeburg.
and
at
it was
this,
so funny, and I was like, we got to do a segment on that.
as a security guard.
So quick, all right. So
Oh, really?
so then we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about
Okay.
you would consider this to be one of the worst jobs you ever had, right? If not, maybe not the worst.
Oh, I know what your
I-
worst
not
is.
in
I
this-
hear plenty about it.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
wasn't
exactly.
the worst job I ever had,
Right.
but it was one of those jobs where I think I went insane
Yeah.
while I was working there. I literally lost my mind.
Okay.
Trying to
Right.
So-
That-
sort of
that's what I
Joker.
remember you saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that one is not the worst job, but it is an interesting story. That I of course, when I was younger, I had a job. I worked at a company called Letterly's in Pearl River, and then I also
No
had a
longer
part time
a
that
company,
after I left Letterly's, I would go to this other job at 4:00 or whatever. No, actually, I worked there at night. I think.
Oh, that's
So
part.
I
of the
think
reason
I worked.
why,
I think I worked 3 to 11, and then I went to this place at night, and I worked an overnight shift here at this
Oh,
place.
that's miserable.
Yeah, and I worked from
That is
11:30 to 7 in the morning.
Oh my god.
In this
okay.
warehouse company.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what they did. And I used to have to sit there for 8 hours, and then I have to do my rounds. I'd there was this golf cart looking thing. I'd get in the golf cart and I'd go around the warehouse and I'd
fun.
I know.
clock
Yeah.
in. You would think it is fun, right?
I'd be
Yeah.
spinning that
But
thing all over the place.
You
No,
get
so-
so stir crazy for 8 hours.
I'm sure.
It's like
Well,
being
you're
in.
the only one there.
It's like
right?
being in solitary confinement.
Yeah.
And you're the only one?
And there's nobody there. And I brought I had back then I had like a mini TV thing that I brought with me, and I would try to watch
Did you get one
TV.
of those things where you had to put like 20 double D batteries in there or whatever?
Yeah,
the
I
hell
had
they were,
like antennas
CNC
coming off of
Rabbit
it, and
ears.
then I
oh
was
my
doing
gosh,
like
the
the
actual
aluminum
screen is
foil
like
to
this
try
big.
to get bigger. Yeah, exactly. And it was long and it had
Look,
the
I
thing
have a
that propped
portable
up.
TV. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I remember. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
And it
Joe.
had like a screen, like you said,
Yeah,
it was like a
it's this
screen
tiny,
like
you're
that
like-
on it.
That's so great.
I think I see something.
So I think
Hold
that-
on, let me get the antenna again. Tinfoil.
Yeah, trying to like run tinfoil out to
Yeah,
the
oh
outside
my
of the
gosh,
building
hilarious,
and get
bro.
a
Yeah,
signal. And that I think contributed to my stir craziness because
Yeah.
you're staring at the tiny screen and you start to
well,
go
the
insane. You
radiation
don't even
just
realize it.
rotted your brain.
And that could be as well.
Yeah.
So it was cool. And that gold card thing, it was like a typical, it was a big one, like with a flatbed on the back of it. It was like
Yeah.
bigger one, and
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
move. It went pretty quick. And this warehouse was like aisles of stuff just going down, and you'd have to go down the aisle and clock into this one, go over here, clock into this one, do the rounds. Like every hour, you'd have to do the rounds.
Yeah.
And I realized that I could do what do they call it, drifting with it. I could drift with it.
That's Tokyo
Just the
Drift.
initial.
I was
the
doing
original
Tokyo-
Drift.
Yeah.
I would be getting down to the end of the aisle, and I would drift into the freaking thing. I would like where the clock part was. I would like get to the one and, go, and just come and drift into
imagine?
the freaking thing.
Joe's
Clock
like,
it.
what if we made this into a movie, but instead of a warehouse, it took place in Tokyo,
Yeah.
and we had like 7 young members.
Yeah,
that were all
I may have been the
Exactly.
inspiration
and
behind
and
that.
then little Bow Wow's there for some reason.
I may have been the
Inspiration for that movie.
inspiration for that
That's
movie, but-
hilarious. So then-
But I one night, I guess after a few days of, and I apologize to my sister Peggy because she's the one who actually got me the job because she worked there during the day as a security guard, and she got me in there
oh no.
for
That's
that
hilarious.
job. So,
Oh god.
but I was so stir crazy, I was out of my mind. I
Yeah.
don't know. I look back on it there and said they must have thought I was completely.
How long
freaking
did you do
insane.
this?
yeah,
for?
right.
So I would do that, right? And
Yeah.
I did it not for long because after about a week of doing it, I think I was ready for the insane asylum.
Yeah, you were gonna be the next Joker.
And,
like
right.
Rob said.
And I used to just take the thing just to kill time. It was this big open area in the front part where I would get into it, and it was about it was a big open area before you got into the racks with all the warehouse and stuff, and it
Sure.
was big back and forth, like maybe the length of a football field or so, and maybe the width of like a half football field. But I was doing just racing as fast as I could across the place, turn the wheel and go doing figure eights. I was laying down rubber all over this warehouse. There were freaking tire tracks, like just rubber everywhere. And I didn't think anything of it at the time. I was like, oh, God, And then so I left work that night, and I came back the next day to come to work, and they said, here's your paycheck. And they handed me my paycheck and said, no, you're not working here anymore.
You're not working here anymore.
Yeah, so that was the end of that. So,
Oh, man.
and I was like,
You have been
I'm
relieved.
surprised they never even said why. Like they didn't say like you just
Well, I
like
think you can
completely
put it
destroyed
together.
the warehouse.
we think
with
you're
rubber.
meant for NASCAR. We don't
Yeah.
want to hold you back anymore.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
We want you to
But-
realize your true dream.
That wasn't my worst job. That was probably one of my funnest jobs when I started to do that.
I guess in hindsight, right?
Yeah, it was
I
one
just
of my
remember you
funnest
talking
jobs.
about how you went like stir crazy, and it got me thinking about like, I don't, I've only really had a couple. I've been in college for so long that it feels like my job is just going to school. I did work a few places, and I used to work at ShopRite. On the very first episode of, I think, our podcast, I briefly talked about working at ShopRite. But it was just funny, man, because like working there, I was there for about a year, and I worked in groceries. I was a stock clerk, essentially, right, for the most part. And you don't really see anything too crazy. I just remember the worst things that I would come across is, so ShopRite had a policy. Right, and their policy is if you ever found on any of their shelves any products that were expired, even by 1 day, if you brought it up to the counter, you would get it all. You would get it for free if you wanted to take it. Because essentially, what their thought process was, if you're going to take this off of our hands, we'll give it to you for free. It's only like 1 day
didn't know that.
expired. It's a policy.
Really?
Most people don't know that. Now you know.
Wow.
ShopRite's going to be
I'm
really
gonna be
pissed at
looking
me
for- I'm
right now
going
for
there.
doing
Well,
that.
we're losing everything.
I'm
Yep,
going
exactly.
there tomorrow
Yep.
and looking for all
They're
the.
taking out.
You
Well, you
saying
have
if
to be
it's
a
day
worker, right?
before?
If it could be expired 6 months and you get it for free. Essentially, you get to take that for free. Now, I'm not sure if the policy works where you get to take something that's like not expired and you get that for free, or if you take that expired thing for free. I don't remember exactly
I think
what
they'd
it
be
is.
afraid of a lawsuit
But
if you got sick.
So I think what it might be
probably
is,
illegal
I
for
know
them to sell that.
it's one or the other. It's either that you get you get like, if you find something expired and you find a current version of that exact same product.
Well, I know what
you
we're
get that
doing
for
after
free,
this episode.
or it's the other one.
Joe and I
Okay,
are going
forgot
right
about
over there
that.
to start
Yeah.
scouring these
I'm
aisles.
gonna
Dude.
come home with tomorrow.
Chuck
we gotta
beef.
We go.
10 minutes expired, Joe. Get a free pack.
We
There we go,
go
exactly.
shopping every Sunday at Price Chopper.
Yeah,
And Kathleen, I don't know if we have enough money to buy that or this. Well, guess what?
that's what I'm saying.
I'm filling the cart on Sunday.
Well, that's a
with
little
stuff.
insider
Well,
knowledge.
you got to
There
go to
you
shop
Cool.
right though.
So-
not
yeah,
Price
we'll go to
Chopper.
shop.
That might
Yeah.
be considered insider trading because I technically was an employee.
Insider trading.
But anyway,
Well, you're not there anymore, so it's not anymore.
Well,
You didn't
I
sign.
haven't worked
You
there in a
didn't.
long time.
You didn't sign a.
I didn't sign an NDA.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah,
like that.
all
Fuck
right.
that shit.
Non-disclosure.
No. But yeah, so it's kind of funny because but so I worked in grocery. That's where it all kind of happened. So of course there was 3 people my whole year of working there. Once a month they would come in, the same 3 people. I don't even know how they knew about it, but they would go up and down the aisles they would spend hours in the store looking for it, and every time they found something, the thing is, it's not really my fault because I'm not stocking every single shelf. I mean, when you're on a shelf, there's 20 things. The
usually
thing
do
all the
categories
way
or
in the
whatever.
back might be the one thing expired. I don't know that. Like, my shift just started, but if they've ever found anything, you have to pull the whole shelf, restock it, everything. So I would basically have to like follow these people around the store, wait for them to find something, take it, bring it up to the front, make sure they know about it, and then take everything down off the shelf, double check everything, and like it was all procedural. And I just remember it was the worst thing ever. Once a month, I'd see these people walking, and I'd be like, oh my god, no! And it would spend 2 hours of my shift would just be following these people like
Wow.
everybody around.
That's crazy.
And making sure these people were not just grabbing crazy shit. But
Was that before or after Bob died?
Bob, who's Bob?
Bill, whatever that guy. Remember
Bill,
from
Jim?
that episode?
The milk guy?
Yeah,
Jim, man. Jim's still there. He's
milk
still
guy's
there.
Oh, I
still
thought
there.
the milk
Just there?
guy. Didn't the
No,
milk
he's
guy?
never gonna
Oh,
die.
he's never going to die. We were
He's
talking
never
about how
gonna
he's
die.
going to die.
He's using the
About-
milk
going-
preservatives
yes.
to keep going.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think he
Dude.
cryogenically freezes himself in the freezer.
I think he
every
just
night.
stays there.
That's
yeah.
what he does.
One of the coolest jobs I ever had turned out to be one of the shittiest jobs I ever had so
Really?
quickly. As many people remember, like when you're a teenager, you'll take whatever friggin' job, you don't care.
Yeah, of course.
So I thought I hit the holy grail. Both my best friend at the time, Mike Roby, and myself got jobs at friggin' Chuck E. Cheese. I think I was like,
Oh, really? I didn't know that, Rob.
oh my God, it was something. I think it was like 18 at the time, or I was going to Dutchess Community College.
Okay.
So I needed something to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't really want to go there, but they had like open hiring things. So me and him went in there. We just like dragged our butts in there doing,
Yeah.
probably gallivanting around doing nothing important.
Right.
And this guy, I only saw him the day he hired us. I'll never forget it. He had all kinds of health ailments, and the 20 minutes of this interview 18 of it was spent talking about his gout and his bad
Oh,
heart
wow.
and his
Really?
diabetes.
Oh my
And that's all.
God.
But in the like 2 or 3 minutes when he wasn't talking about his health ailments,
Yeah.
he managed to say they were hiring a couple guys to keep up with basically your game was to work kind of for the amusement section of it. So we would have to
Okay.
go test all the games,
And you
the
wore the Chuck E.
basketball
Cheese
shoot.
helmet, the hat,
Right.
yeah.
Well, no, we
Dress
didn't
up.
have to do that.
Oh, you didn't. Thank God.
No, I just fixed the machines.
Okay,
I
thank
did
God.
I did have to wear a uniform thing instead of Chuck E. Cheese, but all I
Fair
did was the
enough.
amusement stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And it was freaking awesome. We'd go in there, we test it. You know the basketball thing, that hot shot, it goes
Yeah.
over. But
Yeah.
I got so good at it till to this day. When I don't know to this day exactly, but probably within the last few years.
Yeah.
I go to any of those type of amusement parks in
David
school,
Buster's
like
or
everybody.
whatever, yeah.
I've been there, just like how the
Yeah.
hell can you shoot that fast?
Really?
Those high scores, like bing, 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 bing. I could
What
just do
the
it so
hell?
like it's muscle
Yeah,
memory.
Yeah.
I could just do
well, you
so
were
well
pro
on
for
them.
a while doing that.
I was.
Yeah,
I
you
was
were-
pro on the mini
yeah.
court.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nice.
I was the king of the mini area.
Yes.
So, but that only lasted like a couple of weeks. We would fix the skeet ball machines. They have these little flimsy. Most of these work like this.
Yeah.
Any of the ticket ones, they have this little closed circuit, and
Yeah.
you hit a switch, and when the ball comes through, it just flicks that switch, and that's how the point's at it.
Oh, okay.
But they break all the time. They don't work, or they just friggin' you go up there and go bing, 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 and you'd be shooting out. Yeah. So we would fix those a lot. It was easy to learn a job. Most of the stuff was simple. You just had to make sure the gears were working,
Yeah.
make sure the box was collecting coins.
Right.
So
Whatever.
what became bad about it then?
So this district manager changed and hired like her bestie to be that store manager.
Oh, great.
And they were just like so into themselves. They were so stuck up. There's these 2 Italian girls. They remind me like Jersey girls or whatever.
Yeah.
Like from the Jersey Shore or some crap.
Staten
name.
Island, no offense to Staten Island, all my friends Staten Island.
And you're gonna have to do this, and after this you have to do this. And then she started incorporating me and Mike in it. Mike lasted like 4 days. He was like, I fucking quit. He was like done. He was like, I can't stand this. I still remember the one girl's name was Tracy. I can't remember what the other girl's name was.
Yeah.
But she was like, you better get on it because Tracy's coming in 5 minutes. We worked with this guy. We call him Fat Rob. He was this annoying guy. He was like, his whole life was displaced. He was only a couple years older than us, but he would talk to us like he's our wise older uncle.
I
he was
hate
like,
that,
he was
man.
like 23. He was like,
Dude,
don't
hate
mess
that
up
shit.
now. She expects those pizzas made. I'm like, okay, Rob. So
Yeah.
and we would just walk off and do whatever we want. I was like, I don't work.
Shit.
He had a bumper sticker with Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm like, is this your life? We would just
sticker.
rip on him all day long.
My son is an honor student at
Dude.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Seriously, he would be riding this old Chevy car, like the old 80s box car deal with this giant Chuck E. Cheese purple bumper sticker. I'm like, you were such a fucking loser, bro. So anyway, she ended up making us do like regular stuff.
Yeah.
And like our days were filled with making disgusting pizzas,
Yes.
watching them take it off the floor and feed it to people.
Ew,
True
no,
story, yeah,
really,
100%.
Rob?
100%. Because they
man.
hire like 18-year-old kids in there. They don't give a crap.
And they're feeding children, man.
Yeah,
That's not,
it's disgusting.
Oh, man. That sucks.
20 times a day you get stopped by. My friend says you're cute because there's like 12-year-old girls running around. It was a freaking horrendous. I hated this job.
God, it's so
But the
uncomfortable.
worst thing was you had to clean those sky tubes.
Oh, ew.
And-
in the playpen?
No, the ones that you walk, they're like up in the air and they come out to the ball shoots and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Oh,
These are the. In fact, that's the reason McDonald's is getting rid of all theirs because there's such a lawsuit waiting to happen. And
Really?
They carry so much bacteria. You can't really.
Ew,
How do you think
oh,
they clean
God,
those
no.
balls?
Yeah, right,
I
yeah,
mean,
That's right.
Do you think
Oh,
they clean
God.
each of these plastic
Dude, I
balls?
played
No.
on all those things when I
They're
was a
so
kid.
disgusting.
Oh, it grosses me
So
out.
this all happened in like a 2-day time frame. I was just so irritated. She started making me dress up like the rat. I'm like, I don't do this crap. I'm like, I fix the machines.
Wait, they really
And she-
did?
Yes. And she's like, you have all day to do this. And she was so nasty. She was like, so and so. Rob called out. Now you have to do. Dude, this thing smelled like 800 years of burnt gorilla nipples and stinky feet and stale pizza.
Oh,
Wow.
It was so gross. They had the newer ones that had like coolers in them. Ours was supposed to have like
okay.
an ice pack to keep you cool. Couldn't find it. Smelled
Wow.
like straight crap. I remember, so I put the thing on. I was like, I'm tired of this crap or whatever. So I walk out and I sneezed or something. The lady's like, you got to get in that act. The mouse doesn't say anything. They're going to get pissed. They're going to know that you're not Chuck E. Cheese. I'm like, the hell with this crap. I was like, I'm not wearing this crap, man. I'm done with this crap. I took that fucking helmet off. I threw it back in the thing. I walked right behind the, like where the prize things
Yeah,
were.
yeah, yeah.
And the next, like, 5 kids, I asked that fat Rob, I was like, move out. I got this. And he's like, you want to do this? I was like, because I never wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I got this. I was taking like 1 or 2, the plastic weighs.
Yeah.
I take like 2 tickets. I give him a friggin' $200,000 prize. Like, here you go.
Rob's getting
Here you go. I was
got
giving
the-
out cotton candies
You
to
got
everybody.
the PS4.
And I was like,
Congratulations.
drop that crap.
That's
And I was like, gave out so much big things. I realized I could be in legit trouble. I gave away all like the top row prizes.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah. And they were all freaking out. I was like, I'm done. Peace out.
I'm out.
And I just walked right out of there. It was the worst. That shit
Holy
stunk so
Wow.
bad. Mike Roby quit because they tried to make him clean up shit that was all spread through the sky tube. Some kid had
Oh.
diarrhea and it was all
Oh,
over. He's like,
God. Wow.
I'm
All
out.
right.
And
That's
he
bad.
left.
Dude.
That was the worst job, man.
Wow, that's
It
a
was
good
so-
one.
they were like
That's
Nazis,
good.
bro.
That is a solid pick.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I
That's
can't
bad.
believe
That
they
job
did.
sucked.
They did make you wear the
They
freaking
made me
mouse
wear it.
costume. That's
and they're like,
crazy,
you can't say
man.
anything. And I'm like, I'm sneezing. What do you want? It
I'm
stinks in
sneezing.
here.
Chuck E. Cheese doesn't have a New York accent. Don't you know? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So
That
I
was
mean, those
terrible,
are
man.
like those are
Terrible.
Well,
job.
the
Those are
one
3
job that I
solid
mentioned
picks,
was
man.
actually a fun job that it was the job that just made me nuts. But my
Yeah.
actual worst job ever, and I'll just mention it real quick, was working for IBM on night shift.
Okay.
I hated
Shout out to
that
IBM.
job. I
You did-
hate
you did
IBM
hate
and
that
I hate
job.
that job.
You did hate that
no,
job.
Don't
no
hold back
offense,
on
Rob. I know you. I'm not Rob. I mean Don. But and I appreciate you got me the job there when I was in between jobs. But
Yeah.
Thanks for giving me that job.
That's
at
like,
But-
that job, it was worst. I almost
was-
killed myself. Like
yeah,
that.
But
it was
one of
that
the
one
best
was-
things
that
ever
was bad.
happened
I
to you
hated
while
that
you worked
place.
there.
Was that getting fired? The best,
No.
happiest
No.
day
That's
of
where
my
I
life.
met
No.
you, Dick.
What?
That's where you and Rob
That's where we met.
You and
No,
Rob
I
met
know
at
that.
IBM.
One of the best
That was
things
the best
was
thing. I
meeting
got
Rob,
fired.
But I think even
You're a
better than
piece of
meeting
crap.
Rob was the day that I got fired from IBM
Fair enough.
because
All
I
right.
hated that freaking job.
But,
But,
didn't they ask you to come back on the floor?
Yeah, they said,
After
"Oh,
you
you
got
can continue
fired.
working." I literally said to the guy, "Really, you want me to continue working?"
Yeah.
I said, "I will if you want me to." I said, "But IBM will not be the same when I leave."
Yeah.
It's so
That's
fair because you were
hilarious,
like,
man.
I'm not gonna go into it too much, but you
Yeah,
were too
yeah.
honest. There was so much corruption going on there, and like
it was such a bad
we were-
place.
we were
I was
just
a
running
zombie
wild
in that
in that
place.
place.
It was
Yeah.
just a terrible shift. I had to work. It was 4 days on, 3 days off, 3 days
Yeah.
on, 4 days off. You work 12-hour shift. I worked from 7 at night till 7 in the morning. I was a zombie at the place.
Yeah, man.
And they treated you like you were a number. They didn't even know your name. You were a number. They usually used your
24601.
And
Hey, Rob, What's yeah?
It's a Les Mis reference.
Hey.
It was like working for a penitentiary. And then what I used to say to people, I would rather go back in time and work as a Jewish slave in the Egyptian days.
Right.
In the Egyptian
in the
days.
Egyptian days.
God.
All right, so
in
I don't think
in Egypt, I would want to be a Hebrew working for Egypt in the mud pits, making bricks for Egypt, and then working for IBM at that time.
All right.
Ancestors of those people. There goes our last two.
My ancestors probably did do that.
Now I know that
that's true. That was
this
the first
is exactly what the topic is. Worst jobs, but I have to say I've had a number of jobs that I've shared with Joe.
Yeah.
And so I've seen him do some of the most silly, irrational, psychotic things. And I cannot forget the time. You got to tell that story when we worked at the pharmaceutical together. When we were in a break room and you were talking to the manager.
Oh, and you lit up the right in the middle of the thing. You lit up.
All right. Well, you have to understand.
Oh my God!
The context.
Crap myself.
Hilarious. So funny.
It was sort of not that far after I think the smoking laws they started banning it in different companies, and you used to be able to smoke at your place, and.
I don't think you were ever able to smoke inside.
No, not in that place. But prior to that.
That's the whole point.
But in that place we weren't.
Story.
And I was in, we smoked and we take our smoke breaks. And I was standing there talking to one of the managers.
You got to explain it, though. There's like the lunchroom. And
we were in the cafeteria. There's a little cafeteria.
And then a long hall down to
go where
you would smoke.
Yeah, so I'm standing there talking to one of the managers, and just out of habit, not even thinking, I pulled my cigarettes out of my hand, pulled the cigarette out, and lit it up right in front of him and started smoking it.
I was lost my mind.
And he just stopped, and he looked at me and said, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, shit." And I didn't put it out. I just ran down the hallway.
There's a sink.
And I'm not going to waste the cigarette.
He did not put
that. I just ran down the hallway and went outside. So.
Hilarious, man.
The craziest, I cannot believe they didn't drug test you after that.
Yeah?
I was sure they'd be like, all right, Joe Hassett, random drug test.
All right, random drug test time.
So
you run down the whole hallway with a lit cigarette. That's hilarious.
That is so funny. One of the funniest things ever, man. But yeah, so I thought that would be like when you mentioned the other day, that would be a pretty cool segment to do. But the other thing you wanted to kind of talk about was I know like recently you've been kind of going around like the area, Hudson Valley.
Yeah, this might interest the people in the area or the people
different fun little things. So we'll wrap up the show with a little thing. I know Rob's got a little thing he wants to talk about real quick. You want to give a little how about a quick little top 10 of favorite things that you've discovered recently?
All right, well, I won't even go that. I'm not going to go into that much in depth.
Whatever.
I just wanted to mention that I was looking for places to just stay. I wanted to do a weekend. I was thinking about I have a 4-day weekend this weekend. I was thinking about maybe going someplace and finding someplace interesting, new, something different.
Yeah.
One of our favorite places is the Red Lion Inn in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. We go to
Red Lion?
And that's one of those places, a beautiful place.
Red Lion Inn.
Red Lion Inn.
You said red light. I'm like, talking about the red light
Maybe
district?
I did. I'm not going to. You guys said I said something else. Last time I said I didn't say that. But anyway, Red Lion Inn in Stockbridge is a cute little bed and breakfast from the 1700s. Great place to visit. And we go there, 2 or 3 times a year, and we love it there.
Yep.
And I wanted to go away somewhere different. I always wanted to find someplace else. And there's places here in the Hudson Valley. There are amazing places. I'll mention 2 right off the top of my head. One is called the Beekman Arms Inn in Rhinebeck, New York. Which
I
is
think it could fit on the top of your head.
Yeah, and it's like a smaller version of the Red Lion Inn, and it's only about 45 minutes north of where we are here.
Right.
And the guy who it's owned by Marriott Hotels, I think.
I think you remember saying that, yeah.
But it's independently run by locally. Marriott doesn't really get involved so much in the management of. They have their people. The guy who manages it, though, his favorite place is the Red Lion Inn. He's sort of, that's a cool place. And then there's another place I just discovered called the Roxbury Motel.
The Night at the Roxbury movie.
In the Catskills.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And no, it is actually kind of, if people reference that movie.
I believe it, yeah.
It's owned by a couple of guys
in the
Catskills. And it's a little motel, and it's just.
It's pretty cool. It's all themed, right?
It has themed rooms.
Right.
If you want to check it out, check out the link below on our YouTube feed.
It should be there.
In the description.
It should be there in the video
should be there. We'll try to get that linked for you.
You gotta fly.
But it's a really cool place. They have this all cool different themed rooms. They have like the Star Trek room.
You
lose
your
have
voice a little bit there. You need some water?
Yeah, so.
Your voice a bit. There you go.
Yeah, so some really cool things. And
the
one room that's there is called. One of the really cool rooms that I want to stay in is called the Archaeology Room.
Oh, cool. What the hell?
Yeah, I saw that. That's the one they featured on one of those shows.
Yeah, and it's actually not part of the motel. It's a separate, building.
Oh,
and the whole thing is like themed after Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of thing.
Jurassic Park, obviously.
Yeah, Jurassic Park. They have room like that too, I think.
Yeah,
but it's really neat. So those are two places
cool,
I
man.
definitely want to visit.
Yeah. Well, you've been getting really into it recently. I mean, you've been watching a lot of videos, like top 10.
Yeah, because I've been looking and I'm
Valley
like, wow, I got to stay
yeah,
there. Wow, I want to stay there. Wow, I want to stay there.
Well, like honestly, like we live in a beautiful area. Like I shit on it a lot.
Yeah, the
just because
I shit on it a lot.
I only shit on it for one reason, and that is it. I don't want to take it for granted. I have really bad seasonal allergies, and the Hudson Valley is terrible for seasonal allergies.
Well,
it is.
Oh,
so
it is
bad.
bad. It is bad.
It's a valley,
Yeah.
and valleys is like they go down.
Valleys
They
are
go down.
valleys.
Valleys
Yeah,
go
valleys.
down.
I will
Valleys.
say, like, where a lot of other areas get like 2 seasons of bad out, we'll have like 4.
Yeah,
5
no, it's like
seasons.
every time the
it feels
season's
like it feels like
changed,
10.
it's really
It feels
bad.
like
Especially
10.
if you get an Indian summer, it warms back up, and then
Yeah.
you get like a second windy
Yeah.
season time. You know,
Yeah, man.
forget it. If
Dude,
you got allergies, you're screwed.
That's what I'm saying. So for me, I love the beauty of it all and the scenery, but I feel like I'm always sick. The sinuses are always killing me. It's
That's
nuts,
when
man.
you should get Sizol.
Sizol. It's that's where you should get loosely related tech.
So we'll also.
Yeah.
I want to link a page.
Some of these places are pretty cool. I was just
Link a page
browsing
to
that.
it's called the website is called the
Those
Inbox.
There you go.
There you go.
Theinbox.com, best place to stay in upstate New York.
Okay.
And it lists a bunch of really cool things
17
to do.
cool
and
places, yep.
it's really neat. The getaway is a little
I wanted to
it's a
stay
little
there
mini
few
house.
times.
It's
a
just
tiny
in the
house.
middle
Yeah.
of the woods, and you just
all glass
away
area.
from
It's
everything,
gorgeous.
off the grid, and it's like you're sleeping and living in nature, but you're inside this little box. But it's really cool.
Oh, my
to do
friend
it.
Brandon went here. Oh yeah, that's
Well,
right. I saw him on Instagram. He did this. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. And
But,
there's like a lot of places like that.
Oh.
Foxfire Mountain House,
The Farmers
Mount
and Son
Temper.
looks really nice too.
The
here
what's that?
In Hudson, WM Farmer and Sons. Looks
Yeah.
really,
That's like
really
a
nice
part of a
looking.
house. There's just so many
very
cool
cool,
things. So
man.
check out the website. There's some really cool. We'll leave the link in the description below on YouTube, and just check it out. I'm going to check out a lot of these places. I got to
think
stay
you
there. These are
definitely will.
really cool places. We also looked at the Mohawk Mountain House.
Yeah, which
Very,
is
very
there,
expensive.
We've been
so.
going there for a long time.
Now,
Now, just like to hang out. 'cause
It
it's
is an
too
close
close
by.
all-inclusive. It's an all-inclusive place. So you
Yeah.
get breakfast, lunch, dinner, all
And
the
if-
entertainment, anything they do
right.
there, you can do.
Including
But it
any
starts at,
seasonal
like-
illnesses like the norovirus. That was a couple of years ago.
Was
Was it
it
really?
really? I
You
didn't
had an
know that.
outbreak there? No shit, really.
Big
Oh,
time.
that's crazy. Wow, I did
I
not
think
know
everyone's closely packed in there.
Yeah.
They were stuck in
up
there.
in the
They
mountains.
got
Yeah.
bad.
Wow, no shit,
Yeah.
really. I
But
didn't
it's
know
very
that.
expensive. It starts at like $800 a night.
Yeah.
So
Unless it's a seasonal norovirus.
Right.
Yeah.
You should get a discount.
so
Well,
yeah.
anyway, so I think one last thing we're gonna wrap it up. But right around the corner, for all of those who are good with calendars and dates, not us. We're obviously not. We've
No,
proved
we've
that.
messed it up many times.
But,
What's the year?
The date,
What
the
is the
year,
year? What month is it?
1977,000. Anyway, yeah. So right around the corner is Halloween. I don't know, Rob. You had a kind of a funny story. You were talking about going costume shopping with your kids. The other, like, weren't you?
Dude, oh yeah, so I go costume shopping. I was supposed to go
Yeah.
again today. There's
Okay.
nothing more awkward than being a father with like several. I have several daughters. I have 2 girls.
Yeah.
And you go and you look at these costumes. They have managed a way to make every costume, no matter how benign, into a slut outfit.
Wow,
Every single
really?
one.
Okay, so yeah,
it's not anymore
that's
like
what you were
just a
saying.
French
Just to let
maid.
you know-
There was like a slutty Ninja Turtle.
I was dying. You were talking.
What is that? Is that a power?
That's actually.
I'll confuse you with my scantily clad body and then knock you out with my nunchucks. I mean, they're ridiculous.
I'm gonna go with slutty Wall-E this year.
No, just to let you know, I wanted to let you know when we do I wasn't going to let this out, but when we do our Halloween episode, I was
Yeah.
going to go as a slutty tramp.
slutty tramp.
Yeah,
You're already a
so you-
slutty tramp.
Well,
so
yeah,
you-
that's,
yeah,
you're
so-
just gonna wear what
And
you're
I
wearing
don't,
right
what
now.
I mean by a
He's
tramp,
just gonna add he's gonna get us with the tramp with
Yeah.
the pack like you're
yeah, like I'm a
tramping.
tramp,
Yeah.
Okay, I
like
get
off
it.
the street. You know?
That is a cute way to say homeless. Now
That
you'd
is,
be like, you dirty homeless son of a bitch. Like, oh, he's a tramp.
Oh,
a
he's
tramp.
a
That's
humble
kind of
tramp.
cute, right?
He's a nice little
Like
tramp.
you picture him on the railroads and shit.
Yeah.
On the railroads. Hey,
got
tramp.
the stick and his little
Yeah, but that's what I was trying- I
That's what you were trying to say.
Yeah, I'm
This-
miming
Yeah.
it for the 2 people that are seeing me.
That
I
are
don't know what
seeing
the
us,
hell
yeah.
I'm doing. This is a stick in my hand
You
with
got
a
the
bag
red
attached.
bandana
Right,
or whatever
right.
the hell it is.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are a
so-
little slutty tramp on
I'm
the
gonna be a
railroad.
slutty tramp.
But,
So I'm glad you'll
but
have
how
to
much
give me
does that
some
suck?
insight.
Like,
It's
you
so
can't-
weird. They had a slutty Pikachu.
Really?
She's like, Pikachu. I'm like,
What
what the
the
hell?
hell is going
Dude, I don't
on?
know.
What is that like?
I
Like,
don't know. It's all awkward.
you
I'm
know-
like, okay, let's skip this aisle. Let's skip this
Let's skip
aisle. Let's
that
skip this
aisle.
aisle. I'm coming back here with my wife Stephanie later. Let's skip this aisle. Let's
Yeah.
skip this aisle. But yeah, we're supposed to go later. I don't even want to go. It's literally just a reason to dress up like a hua.
Exactly.
Right.
That's all that's happening.
That's what everybody always said. And it's so true. It's so freaking true. And like for guys, it's like, oh, I've always wanted to be Batman. Now I can be Batman finally. I'm going to go out and spend $900 on a realistic Batman costume.
Yeah, seriously. That's what you have to spend. Because even the shitty ones are like $100.
Yeah, seriously,
Yeah.
man.
They only give you part of they don't give you
They
like
don't
the
give you the whole
main piece.
thing.
You can't tell what the hell you are.
Exactly.
What is he supposed to be? I spent $99. I guess I should have spent the extra $20 so you know what the hell I am.
Man.
Yeah.
Dude, but Halloween is coming up. Get ready for that. We're gonna have our Halloween episode.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
looking
we're all
forward. When
gonna
is
have
that
this,
actually going to take place? Do we
so
know?
so I think we're gonna try to
Record it ahead of time.
We're gonna try to
post
record
it
ahead.
on
Release it on the day of
on
Halloween, right?
Yes.
Yeah, on the actual day of
All right.
Halloween. So yeah,
So
that's
it's
the
coming
plan.
up pretty
Halloween is,
soon.
I believe, a Thursday. Again, I'm not a calendar expert, but I believe
When
it's
is
a
it?
Thursday.
I
I
think
think
so.
if I know
I
calendars,
think we should be able to verify it.
dates are
Thursday.
things.
It's
a
okay.
Thursday.
See, that's
It
how
is a
fast I
Thursday.
am. I picked up my phone. I couldn't even get to before
There you
Rob.
go.
Okay,
got to
so
his.
I do want to say, if anybody has any like stories they'd like to tell or stuff, please email them into us. You gotta hit them up with all the spots. Send us
if you
those,
have
exactly.
those
send us-
creepy, scary stories or any.
or
That's what
even
we want to do. We're trying to think of different topics to do for the Halloween episode. So if anybody has anything that you want to like, give us a top 10 list of like what you guys experienced, like your Halloween spooky stories,
Yeah, I love spooky
scary
stories.
stories, even stories that are like maybe even like kind of like legitimately scary. Like I mean, I know it's kind
I love
of
those
a little
ones.
bit dark, but like I thought someone was breaking into my house or whatever, but it turned out it was just like it was like a cat outside or something.
yeah,
like
or
that.
you could
It was
just-
a slutty cat.
Yeah, slutty cat.
Or you
Oh,
could just-
trick or treat. Okay.
or you could just send us pictures of crickets because that's all we usually get anyway.
Yeah, pretty much crickets and just
Okay,
all that. Yeah,
whatever.
there we go. Crickets for Halloween.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, send us those stories, man. I look forward to hearing them.
Me
yeah,
too,
and let
man.
us know what your worst jobs were.
Yeah, sure. Put
Give
it
us those
on the
stories
comics,
there.
worst jobs, and all that. And if you want to, like, also, I would like to know what you guys are thinking about the Joker movie. You know, obviously it's a relatively controversial movie, and I would like to hear in those comments below or on our website if you want to. Or you can email us personally what you guys thought about the movie, what your impressions were, and
And if you do happen to stay
that.
into, if you do look at our links and stay into
Yeah.
those sites,
let
don't
us know what you
forget-
think about
and
it.
don't forget to drop our names where you got the information.
Oh yes,
from.
especially that.
Yeah.
Definitely give us a shout out
Because
to all
we
those
want
places
to
you
we
go.
want to book them at discounted rates, and we're hoping with your
Yeah.
input we could get the discounted rates. We'll say, yeah, but we're from loosely
We
related.
will
Yeah.
review your spot.
Yeah, very, very selfishly. But anyway, so I think that's going to be it from us today here at Loosely Related. Thanks for tuning in again. And as always, you can find us at our website, looselyrelatedpodcast.com. You can find us on YouTube, Google Play Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram. And besides that, we will see you guys next time. And Brian says hello wherever he is, where the manhunt is
See ya.
out.
Brian,
We're
have
gonna
fun. He's
find
on
him.
his way down. I
But
think he's
no,
in his
really,
car.
Brian is have fun on vacation, and we'll see you guys
Enjoy
next
yourself,
time.
guys.
Bye.
All right, bye.